Hello, and welcome to another tutorial for my tool, HeavyCivilHelper. It is a project management software targeted at heavy civil project managers, home improvement salespeople, as well as private contractors. If any of these sound familiar to you, such as losing track of leads before you follow up, or forgetting what client is where, and you don't have any general idea of what stage a job or piece for your civil project is in, you can't remember where the job site is, and scope creep and cost exposure keep going unnoticed across emails, texts, and spreadsheets, I built this program just for you. So I wanted to get on here today and walk you guys through a test project as if I was a home improvement salesperson again. As a few of you know, I started out my construction career as a home improvement salesperson with my HIS license in the state of California, and then I was a home improvement residential project manager as well. So what I have here is my test portfolio project. We're going to open it up right here. Granted that you have started a membership on the site and are going through building your first job, I'm going to walk you guys through tips and tricks and what you may need to do. So first of all, you're going to want to come to your project information tab on the left side, and you're going to want to enter in any information. If you have an internal reference number, or say you are a marketing 2026, you could do that. Or if you yourself are a home improvement salesperson, you could say my 2026, or you could say even month to month. You could put a project number and a revenue target. If you have a territory or a pipeline goal for the month, year, I don't know how often you want to reset this. What I would put this as is, let's go 2026, and let's just go 1. This will be our first project ID. Let's go revenue target, quick and easy, 100,000. That's the goal. Service area, let's go Greater Los Angeles. Let's go Greater Los Angeles area. You can give a project description to it too, as well as what you're targeting. And then I'm going to go ahead and set up a map coordinate center for you right here. So give me 1 sec, I'll be right back. So what I've gone ahead and done is set up a project center. That way it will bring you to the same spot every time. And what we are going to do is zoom out, and I'm going to quickly set up some zones. I'm going to stay within this general area for now, even though many home improvement salespeople oftentimes break stuff up all around. So what I'm going to go ahead and do first is come down here to Map Tools, which is going to be your friend through all this, and we are going to draw a work zone. First things first, what you do is go to Zone, and that will open up your prompt. And what I am going to do is go ahead and mark down my work zone area. So first of all, I'm going to consider most of this, Greater Long Beach, Carson, Compton area, to be somewhere I potentially will target up to Southgate. But for my first zone, I'm going to consider these freeways and work and make a hypothetical zone, This is going to target Greater Long Beach and Seal Beach. And I'm going to call this Zone 1. You can obviously change this exactly how you need. What I'm going to go do is pin this zone so it stays here. Now what we've gone ahead and done is created a work zone. So this is something that you can now utilize to ask your pins and AI where stuff is and what's going on with it. So now what I'm going to go do is, now I'm going to go ahead and make a second zone. These will be my farther away leads. I'm going to make the side here first. Actually, I'm going to include this half. We're going to do half here, and the other half will be a separate zone for farther away. Let's go to satellite to help us out just a little bit. on what communities we might cut off. Let's go right here through orange. Let's take these guys with us. Then we're going to cut right through Irvine. And here we go. And this we can call zone 2. Now I'm going to go ahead and make a third zone up here for lower LA area. I'm going to imagine that we have leads all throughout, but they're getting took over by other areas over here. So I'm going to cut around areas I normally would hit right within my original home improvement sales work. Oftentimes go just about here to Glendora. Cut back through. We got Diamond Bar. Really stayed out of Chino Hills. Let's go right about here. We're going to make this zone follow this other zone. Click right here. Here. As you can see, it's very simple to make your zones. Just follow a pretty close view of it, and you can pin other work zones around it so this doesn't happen. And let's go zone 3. Okay, cool. Now we have 3 pins, 3 zones right here. These are your work zones. So what we are going to go do now is we have the ability to populate these with pins. So we're going to go to a lead and imagine that you enter in your new lead, right? You have any extra info you need, right? You could obviously upload a request, field note, proposal. This is your records that you're creating in your pipeline, as well as you can add new leads. So if you wanted to, you could come and create a custom pin right here as well. And honestly, the easiest way to take this about is based on your organization. Add exactly what you have. So let's say, here's a good one, a couple templates. You have categories for your pins, right? And you want to make these first, and then you add pins and connect them to this category. So let's use this one, new prospect. Here's exactly what it is. You're going to have different statuses and checklist items that can make it hit 100%. So let's change this a little. Let's go leads that are, we're obviously going to assume they're unhit. So we can give it terminal status, and then these also you can change later. So I'm going to think we have leads and they're going to be new. You're going to have, I guess you could simplify it, say hit. You could say something also called to cancel or something. You could say, you come in here and say that they are new or hit. So with your leads, you're going to have different statuses and different completions, and then you can have archived. And let's say terminal status will be archived. You can create this as a category, and then you can make a new one if you won the lead. You could say something like active job. You could say different statuses. You could say ongoing, completed. And then we're going to add this category. And let's say job closed, right? Oftentimes these aren't cold. They're still hot. So you could say closed, and then you could give it a terminal status of finalized. These can honestly be archived later if you need. So we're just going to create these categories. That way you know exactly what's happening. Then we're going to create a new pin. Let's say, let's give this name, let's give this John Doe. This is going to be a lead. We can give it a due date, right? If you need it by the end of the week. You can give it a due date. You can give it a status as well after you've hit it. If you want to archive it as a lead to keep it on the table. And then these items were auto-created. You can go and edit them later. You can give it an address and cross streets, or you can simply just come and, depending on how you want the map set up, pin it, just like so. Pin goes there. You create, and it will also fit into your zones. If you remember them, you can put this one it'll auto detect, or you can select it. Here we are in work zone 2. So it'll sort them by zones, and then in the description you would put any information you need from them. And then you could have a checklist as well too, depending on what it is, right? You put the amount, you put the exactly what it was, and roofing if it was windows. You can add attachments as well if you need a gate code or something simple like that. And then you can attach any contract information as well, so it's right on hand. Update this pin. What I'm going to go in and manage categories for is I'm going to go and edit lead to take off these checklist items. That way we don't need any. You could even put signed. If you have checklist items you'd like to add, simple as that. Let's edit the rest of these real quick and we'll be right back. Here's a good one that you can keep for these. I like that I have it so the pin categories for ongoing jobs will have checklist items. You're going to start with the signed contracts. You're going to check that. If you have a deposit, you can check that, or if you don't need it, you'll delete it off that job. Job scheduled, and if the project is handed off to operations, you can update that too, so you know exactly what's happening on every single active job as well. So let's make a few more. I'll see you guys in a sec. I'm going to make a few across the county and give them to you to check out what's going on. So now I have the main map here, and we can go and click between pins. You can see their different statuses as shown. You can even see archived pins as well. These ones show up as a different color, so you can change their layer, and then you can view them as a whole. You can turn on and off different layers, and that way you're able to filter by what you want to see. You want to check what leads are ongoing still, you're able to do so. You want to check what leads are completed, you're able to do so. Or if you wanted to check what's been sold, you're also able to do so. So now what I'm going to go do is we're going to go into our pipeline, and as you can see, you can check out your total pipeline, the open value, and the amount closed and won. And it looks like I have a few that do not have a value added to them but are marked as sold, so I'm going to go in and add this one right now. Got one more to do. And as you can see, they're sorted by zone as well as type. So you're able to go and filter depending on what you need to look for. And then you're able to use that data in the AI assistant to ask it how much cost exposure you have still out there that's not closed. You can see exactly when they should close, the percent they are towards being complete if you had multiple stages in it. Say you had a roof and exterior coating, you're able to make those as check marks and mark them off as you go, and collect payment for them as you go if need be. So now you can see the process. It'll show exactly what's done, what's not, and then like I said, you're able to go and filter by what's still ongoing and what's completed. You're also able to see this very easily on the map as shown before, and then you can sort by leads that are ongoing still. That way you can follow up if need be, or convert them into sales if they are complete. As you can see really easily right here, you go in and about between your location pins for any project offices or important locations you want to mark on your map, as well as your other pins. So now what I'm going to go do here is we are going to go open up a risk report based on what's going on. So you can ask the AI any questions you might have. What we're going to go in and do is ask how many leads are open in zone 1. So you're able to focus on a location or a record if need be. I'm going to send it and see you guys in a sec. Looks like we got our answer back, so now we're going to go in here and see. Quickly and easy, the AI checks exactly how many are open in zone 1. We've got Marlene Sanchez, her status, and what work zone it's in. As you can see, we go in here. 1 lead, 1 open, 1 closed. And then if you need to show this graphic to anyone, you're able to go down and print your current view so you can see as so. It opens up a new PDF. And just like that, you're able to print your graphic of your target market and leads if you need to do any presentations or slideshows based on it. In your lead pipeline, you're able to see your total pipeline, its open value, and extra information, as well as go and edit any extra leads you add or existing leads. Say if you convert and then complete, you can update it just as so. Change any checklist items you need to or any deal value as you go. add any information you need for any calling or gate codes to save it, mark it as saved, and now it shows up as your active job.